Hey guys, welcome to a new video. And well, these are on my desk, but I have something to admit. 2 packages of today I've already unpacked and used because I couldn't wait. So there's this guy, and I think it's best to show you like this. I needed a new laptop backpack because my old backpack had ripped things and the zipper wasn't working anymore in one of the compartments and it had issues. So I got this thing from Aliexpress, and it's supposedly real leather, and I kind of tend to believe them. I don't know. The back looks like this. It's nicely padded. It's not thick padding, especially not on the straps, but it's padded nonetheless. And it has all kinds of nice compartments, like over here, and on the front it has multiple like smaller compartments or bigger compartments, like over here, like I don't know, my 2.5 gigabit Ethernet adapters in here. And well, I guess I'll try and show you this with the top cam, but it's gonna be rough. Let's okay, and then zoom or focus. Yes. So it has a front cover, and that's big enough to actually have a Coke bottle inside. There's a little pen. My mouse is in there, and some other, I don't know, chewing gum, and some cables and other stuff. There's a zipper here in the inside pouch, I guess you could say. Over there, I have some charging cables in there. Where did I put my charger? Oh, I think I put my charger here in the front. Yeah. So there's a big chunky charging brick there, the 240 watt thing with a nice 100 watt USB-C and the AC cable and USB-C cables. And then here on the right there is a compartment where you can fit a full water bottle, but I have a full Coke bottle in the inside, and that's just the front compartment. The zippers are pretty good so far. I've only had it for a few days. And the back compartment has 2 nice sleeves. So this is for my laptop. It's a 14-inch model, but that fits in there nicely. Officially, I think you're supposed to use this one because it has a strap, and it feels padded, so that's good. So you can actually fit 2 laptops in there, or like I'll be doing, a laptop and a tablet. Then I still have some Ethernet cable in there and some other stuff, and it all fits very nicely. It's definitely bigger on the inside than my old bag, and it feels very sturdy. So I don't know if it's real leather. They give you this this little card thing to, I don't know, maybe there should have been something stamped on there or not, I don't know. But so far, I kind of like it for the price. So yeah, if you're looking for a bag and you want this this nice leathery look, I think it's quite good. It has these metal feet on the bottom, and it stands up without falling over, which I like a lot. And there's a second box. I couldn't help myself because we already did a live stream with this one. Oh, and these are some buck converter, or well, they're pretty hefty buck converters really, from XWST. For instance, this is a 5-volt 15 amp one, and this is a 12-volt 15 amp one. And then I think I also have a 24-volt 10 amp one, so that's 75 watts, 180 watts, and 240 watts. And well, I use those in my testing with sending some power over UTP cable. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, watch my 4-hour live stream that I did yesterday. Of course, that will be last week Friday once this comes out. Give that a watch. And I actually use these buck converters in there, and I've been testing with them since. And so far, they've been doing perfectly fine, as I would expect from them. So yeah. Now, to resume your regularly scheduled content of ripping open packages, let's start with that. Okay, let's start with the big one here, and I'm gonna rip it open like this. hoping I'll be able to just kind of slice it open in that sense. Let's see here. There. I'm a trained professional. Do not try this at home. I'm not a trained professional. At least not in this. Right, and there's a box in the box, as I suspected. I think I know what this is. Let me try and get rid of the packaging material, because otherwise I'll spend hours after a QuinBoxed getting rid of that stuff. No, that's not true, but it does actually take a little bit of time. And we should be able to see in the window, but I guess they repacked it. Ooh. Because this is another Meanwell UHP-500. I have two of them on my desk, one 5 volt and one 24 volt, because those are voltages I use a lot next to my variable power supply. But for some projects I'm working on, this is a Meanwell UHP-500-48. So it's a 500 watt power supply that can deliver up to that delivers 48 volts. Nice. Yeah, 48 volts, 10.5 amps. That's pretty decent. Okay, because we'll be doing more of that in the future with some higher voltage stuff for LEDs. What else? What were you thinking? Right, on to the next package. This feels like the thing that has to be in every QuinBoxed. LED strip. Oh yeah. What the? They're lodged in there quite well, but I got it. Let's see what we have here. It's unlabeled, unmarked. That's always bad. Oh, it's some SK6812 addressable RGB strip, or RGBW strip in this case, 5 volt. Nice. And I probably got this from some cheap seller, because in the end, most strip is kind of the same. BTF lighting does offer good warranty if you need it, but generally, you can also buy from the cheaper vendors. I'll test it out, see how it performs, and you know, then I will or will not share links. But this is a QuinBoxed, so everything gets shared. Okay, let's see what's in here. So far, I have no idea. Ah, right. This also has to do with the long distance LED project I'm working on. And these are very simple little devices. They are RJ45 couplers. Now, generally I wouldn't advise using these for your network, especially, well, gigabit. In theory they'll work for gigabit, but they will add some resistance on your connection, so it'll make it slightly worse. But if you have to use it, you have to use it. But in my case, I'm using RS485, and that's a lot more resistant or resilient in that sense, because it's a lot lower data rate. And I wanted to be able to couple as many UTP cables as I wanted to, because I ran out earlier. Well, I got a whole bag of these. Because they were cheap if you got a whole lot of them. Whoa, what's this? How do we even open this? Let me check if there's anything on the back. Oh, there is. But it's what? Oh, is it a new USB tester I ordered? I actually ordered a couple, because there's new standards out now, so you need to get a new tester again for those to be recognized. Let's see if we can get this out without messing up the desk completely. I really wonder if that's going to happen. Let's see. Almost there. There. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Wow. Wow. What insane packaging is this for something that's already in a box? Why would you do that? Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah. So, it's a FNIRSI USB fast charge tester, the FNB58. And I looked online and I saw some good reviews on this guy. Well, let's look at the specs. It can do 4 volts to 28, 0 to 7 amps, 140 watt max. So this is also USB PD 3.1, I believe, compatible. Not up to 48 volts, which PD 3.1 can go up to. Wow, this is some... Oh, okay, let's do it over here. Still, it supports some PD 3.1 stuff. Now, let's take a quick look here. Wow. I mean, why would they send it in that box if it's already in a foam box? But, okay, sure. Cool. That looks fancy. Well, let's leave the sticker on for now. It has a Type-C and a Type-C in and out, a micro USB, PD communication. You can turn it on and off. USB-A. It has a rocker. Okay. And then a back button. And then a PC connection, which is sadly micro USB. Slightly misaligned. See if you can see that. And, yeah. Cool. Let's quickly plug it in. Well, this is Quindor on the right here. Isn't that embarrassing? I accidentally unplugged my microphone while reaching for the USB cords. So the rest of the video actually has no audio. To try and entertain you guys just a little bit, let's try to do some live narration or something like that. I think it's going to be horrible. I apologize for that. But hey, gotta try something. I can't unpack these packages again. If you ever needed proof QuinBoxed was actually live recorded, well, this is it. So yeah, let's I'm just gonna, start the video. And here I bumped the USB cord of my microphone and it became unplugged. Voiceover it is. Well, that's what we're doing. And while we're doing this, I'm actually hooking up this charger because, I unboxed this yesterday. I like that it has a very clear display. And I plugged in one of my phones, the phone I have here with the thermal camera. But that was just fully charged, so that didn't really do much. But it does have a lot of digits after the point, or the decimal point, I don't know. And it has a few menus, it has a graph it can generate. And all in all, it seems like a very accurate, well, as far as, the numbers it has, device. And it'll probably live on my desk to do all kinds of testing. So, yeah. This is as awkward for me as it is for you. So let's get a next package. I don't know what I'm saying. I have no clue. I just make this up as I go. Oh. Yeah, this feels like LED strip. I think I said something like that. Of course, there is LED strip in there. What else did you expect during a QuinBoxed? But wait, where's the LED? Oh, okay. It slipped out. Okay, no problem. So, nothing on the packaging. I hate that. Please put a label on there. It's not that hard. That's probably what I'm saying. Oh, right. This is some of the new FW1906. It's nice that it's on the screen. I can actually read it. FW1906 LED strip. It's RGB plus CCT. So red, green, and blue plus dual color white. But the chip, I don't think it's supported yet in WLED. I believe someone wrote a fork that it might be at some point, and they might import that. So it's like, let's order a roll so that I have it if it ever does. And then we can test it and see how it does. Now, don't expect great whites from this, even though it's RGB CCT, so dual white. The quality of the white light's generally still very low. So, yeah, it's not really suitable for primary lighting, but you do get 2 extra white colors with which you can mix a lot of other colors. Okay. Well, I think I remember this one being pretty heavy, and it's being a package in a package in a package. And that's probably because it was so heavy. Right? Okay. Come on, man. Rip it open. So this is leaded solder wire, and well, I can actually show you because I'm telling you in the video. Like, I've recently started using it. Oh wait, can I show that? See, that's the same thing. And I have a 100-gram spool which I've been using for the past month or 1.5 or so, whenever it came by the last QuinBoxed. And I liked it so much that I bought a 0.5 kilo, so 500-gram spool, because, well, it's leaded solder. It's harder to get nowadays. But if you check out the last live stream, and well, you can see that on my channel. It's the one from previous Friday. We actually did a lot of soldering, and it's just really good soldering tin or, solder wire. It's the 0.6 millimeter variant, and, well, I liked it a lot, so I bought a lot more. But I'll link the 100 gram and the 500 gram in the description. Oh no, this looks like an LED strip again. Now, what are these? How many LED strips can one guy need? I mean, I don't even know anymore. Okay, yeah. So these are Cobb 5mm LED strips, and they come in 5-volt 100 LEDs a meter and 160 LEDs a meter. And they're actually very decently priced. They're not much more expensive than the normal 60 LEDs a meter variant. Now, these are 5mm wide, so power-wise, they're going to be worse than a 10mm strip because there's just, more strip and thus more copper material. Then again, these Cobb LEDs should be a little bit more efficient. And so you can get more LEDs per meter. And we tested these in a live stream before, and they looked really good. But I'm planning to do a video in the future where I show off 100, 160, 240, and 332, and 12 volt and 24 volt Cobb LED strip. So we can do a little bit of comparison there. But it's a really nice option. If you need a thin LED strip and lots of LEDs a meter, especially the 160 LEDs a meter variant is very nice, but be prepared to do a lot of power injection. For 5 meters, you'll likely have to do front, middle, and end. But, still have to review that. This is a QuinBoxed. I don't know. Yep, this one actually has a label on the bag and on the spool. I like that a lot better than these stupid nameless bags with nothing on there. Yeah, so that would even be a reason for me to select a different vendor, because otherwise I have to label everything myself. So, yeah. I think I'm saying that in the video. I don't know. Right, let's see what's in here. It's a really puffed up package. It's a well-packed. Oh, I remember these. I believe. Oh, I shouldn't spoil it. There. These are 1.5-inch I2C OLED screens you can use with an ESP, for instance, to display some information. And they're 128 by 128 resolution with white pixels, and 1.5 inch is a very nice size. So I saw these come by, and I was like, oh, let's test that out sometime. These have a buck regulator on there, so it's probably 3.3 volt and 5 volt compatible. But, yeah. Just 4 wires, and you can hook it up. All the new analog boards will come with I2C connectors on there. I think we're going to talk about that in a minute. So that'll make hooking something like this up very easy. And there's some different form factors. These are longer versions of the same type of screen. It's also a different resolution because of that. But, sometimes you need a different form factor, or you need something smaller. So, right, we're continuing with these smaller, thin packages. Okay, so on the newer analog boards, we're using Stemma QT or quick connectors as they're called. And these are a standardized format by Adafruit and SparkFun to do I2C connectors. Now these are really tiny, but you can get some pre-made cables for that, which makes them very easy to use. But sometimes, like the screen, they don't have a Stemma QT or quick connector yet. So these little boards are basically just breakout boards where you can solder on, for instance, the screen or some wires to another I2C device. And since it's a bus, you can loop in a wire in and out to the next device, sensor, or whatever. And so I was like, okay, let's get some pre-made boards for that and test that out. It's probably easier than making them myself, or cheaper. So, yeah. But I really like this Stemma QT connector because it's very small to add. So I'll be adding that to most or all of my boards in the future. And we continue on the Stemma QT I2C bandwagon here. And that is I believe this is a distance and proximity sensor. Where's my overlay? Let's see here. Oh, no, this is actually a gas sensor. Oh, my overlay is wrong. Okay, I'll have to edit that. You'll probably see the right overlay. So this is a gas sensor. It's just an example of a Stemma QT sensor. You can just plug in and then link other stuff behind it if you want to. And yeah, that makes it very easy to connect. You'll probably have to use this in ESP Home, not WLED, but still, if you wanted a gas sensor in one of your rooms, hey, easy plugging. I wish I knew what this guy was saying. I have no clue. It was just random stuff in my head. There. This, I think, is a distance and, proximity and illumination sensor. So that could be really cool to add to an LED controller, because then, you can make scenes dependent on the illumination and triggered by proximity and distance. So, yeah. Right, what do we have here? Oh, this is an ADC, so an analog to digital converter. It has 4 channels, and again, Stemma QT connector, so you can easily connect it up. And if you wanted to use a potentiometer or something like that, you could use this over I2C to connect to that. So it's an easy way to expand the controller boards, basically, right? This package is already kind of ripped open. Don't remember if I did that or it came like that. I think I did that, but shh, don't tell anyone. So this is a 240 watt, 40 gigabit, 8K 60 hertz, 48 volt, 5 amp cable. So it's one of those new PD 3.1 cables that basically has all the specifications. And I got it because of that angled connector. And, the display in the cable is nice too. I don't really need the other specifications most often, but I really hate it when you're on your laptop and there's this giant cable sticking out. Of course, both USB connectors are on the right side of the laptop, where I also want to keep my mouse. And then there's this cable sticking out. Now, this right angle plug kind of fixes that. And it makes it a lot easier. But I think we're going to take a look at that quickly in a minute. Yeah, there's a lot of thick cable in there, so it's not one of those silicone fluid whatever cables. This one is a sturdy cable that's very rigid. All the specifications there and the display. Nice. Yeah, let's get my laptop and let's take a look at the difference between that plug sticking out or a right angle plug. I don't know why they make these laptops with the USB-C on the right side. It's probably technical layout something, but from a usability perspective, it just sucks. Because my mouse is on that side, but both my USB-C plugs are also on that side. This is a Asus VivoBook Pro, I think. Not sure anymore. don't remember from head. But yeah, that plug sticking out really bothers having a mouse there. So if we then take the other side, which is a right angle connector, and because it's USB-C, you can use it both ways. You can reverse it. There, that's a lot neater. Now you have a lot more room, and you can have your power adapter on the other side. So a right angle adapter makes a lot of sense. Now this cable is more suited for a docking station, because you have 40 gigabits and DisplayPort and all the power traveling over it, not so much as a charging cable by itself. You can use it for that, of course, but you know, there's cheaper and easier cables. Although this one wasn't that expensive, especially with the display in there. Yeah, it's just stupid. If I have my mouse there, why is this cable here? Okay, there's a few packages left, so let's take a look. This feels like another LED strip. Oh god, it is. What did I order this time? Ah, right. So we're doing analog boards, and those should be available sometime soon. We're still working on the casing. And this is a very cheap, the cheapest I could find, 240 LEDs a meter warm white strip. So this is utter crap, and you shouldn't buy this. But to highlight why you shouldn't do that, I needed some of, you know, a modern crap strip so that I could compare it to a good, like the Oxmer strip we got in the last QuinBoxed strip. It's very thin. It's going to suck, but at least I can do a comparison with it to show you guys why you should buy higher quality LED strip. Even the bag is flimsy. Oh, another bag of I2C or I2C goodies. This is all from Lolin, and I believe this was in there, so that's a little screen that has the Stemma QT connector on there. Oh, and the Stemma QT cables there. So these are pre-made cables you can cheaply buy. I believe they're JST SM 1mm pitch. I'll have the right version on the screen. You can buy those very cheaply in different lengths and with connectors on both sides or not, etc. So easy to have in stock if you want to connect a few connectors. And then having these modules with the Stemma QT connector already on there makes it just so easy to connect stuff. You don't have to solder anything, just plug it in and go. Yep, so it's an OLED display, a smaller one this time. I think it's 0.96 inch, but it has the Stemma QT connector already on there. I always forget how they go on. Nope. Yeah, and just connect that to your controller or to another sensor which does have a pass-through. This screen doesn't have a pass-through, but yeah. Makes it very easy and quick to connect. So we have a few things here. We have the screen, we have some temperature sensors, and some other sensors. I wish I knew what this guy was talking about. I really don't remember. Trying to get it all off my desk, or at least off of the camera view. Now, what's in here? Oh, it's a charging cable. It's this guy. Yes. This one is a very cheap cable, but it says it's PD 3.1 240 watt compatible. Basically, it's a 5 amp cable, but then instead of 20 volt, they support 48 volt with the PD 3.1. And, well, it was cheap, and I will have some PD 3.1 stuff in the future. Maybe even later in the video. So, yeah, I needed, I wanted some new cables for that. Ah, yes, my cleaning supplies. I have a Roborock S6 and a Roborock S7. And, well, they both perform vacuuming and sometimes mopping duties. But some of the materials, especially like these rollers and things like that, after, like, I don't know, a year or so, they are really done. That's like already twice as long as they recommend you use them. So I was cleaning both robots recently, and, well, they were done. These things were done, so I just needed some new supplies. So I got a kit for the S6 and a kit for the S7. It even came with a water tank filter element blah. And I think I go over that the brush on the S6 is actually fully rubber, while on the S7 it's now again rubber with a brush in there. So they probably changed their mind in their design. Yeah, these parts look fine. They're probably copies or clones or whatever. But that's okay. For $10 you get like a year's worth of supplies again to use in your vacuum. And then it'll perform like new again. Some mopping pads. We actually use the mopping function, especially on the S7, which is downstairs. And those get dirty. I mean, those really work. But you just throw in the washing machine and then they're good as new again. So, hey. But having a few more could help out. I'm trying to build a tower of stuff on my desk. I don't know where to put everything. Ah, yes. These are RJ45 screw terminals. We're doing some RS485 stuff, and I wanted the ability to split out the RJ45 connection or the Ethernet connection into multiple screw terminals if I wanted to mess around with the wiring, basically. And I got two different variants. I got the ones with a cable and without a cable that directly plug in. Because if you plug in, let me get the version with the plug directly on there. This guy, well, it kind of blocks the other port. So I also got the version with a cable on there. So then if you plug that in, you don't have that problem. Now, don't use these for actual Ethernet or networking, especially not at gigabit speeds. They're not suited for that. This is really to experiment with the wires inside if I wanted to make a change or a test. And we actually used those in the last live stream, which worked great. So, hey. Putting it all back in the baggie again. Right. Let's see here. I think this is the last package. I believe so. I think I know what it is. It's right here. So right, I have had one of these on my desk for quite a while now. I have to look up which QuinBoxed I got it. And this is basically an updated version. Of course, we couldn't have a QuinBoxed without a USB charger in there, could we? And this also goes with the PD 3.1 cables and testers, although the tester is PD 3.0, I found out, but that's fine. So this is a new desktop charging station, basically in the same form factor I already have. And it comes with PD 3.1, a wireless charger on top, and a nice display. But the reason I got it is the one I have, or already have, is 4 times USB-A and 1 times USB-C. But a lot more gadgets are starting to use USB-C instead of USB-A. So I found myself lacking USB-C ports very often. So this guy has 2 100 watt ports and 1 PD 3.1 140 watt port. So that should, satisfy all my USB PD needs. So let's take a quick look at that. Comes in a nice box. And one of the things I also like, it's really a desktop model, is that it has a nice external cable. They actually sent me the right one for my country. And it has one of these figure 8 or infinity style power plugs. That's fine. Yep, there's the connector for that. Cool. It has a wireless charger on top, so you can charge your phone. I actually tried it with my phone, which has a pretty hefty, thick case on there. And that worked fine. So I was actually surprised by that. So 2 times USB-A, 2 times USB-C with 100 watt in total. Power delivery, but one port can do 100 watt. And then a PD 3.1 port for up to 140 watts. Here you can see all the combination, up to 260 watts in total. It's quite a lot. But let's quickly hook it up and see if it works. Now these are an OEM model, because I see lots of vendors rebranding these for to their own name, but it doesn't mean they're bad. It generally means they're a decent OEM, and especially if others put their name on it, they're generally okay. Right? Oh, wait, that display is a bit weird. If you angle it the wrong way, it just goes black for some reason. Okay, that's odd. So you have to look at it straight, and then it works fine. But if you okay, it's not the screen, the little protector on there. Let's try and get that back. You can never get that back exactly like it was, but I turned the screen off. So that's a function. You can turn off the display if it's like in your bedroom and you just want to sleep. You turn off the display and it's fully dark, and it can show you the voltage, amperage, and wattage per port, which is very nice in my little lab here. Because then I don't need as many of these little meters. I don't know, I just like readouts. I read out everything all the time. So I plugged in the same phone again, but of course that phone is still full. So again, it doesn't take a lot of charge. Let me get my normal phone. It's right here. It's still here. Well, this is the next day, but Okay. So let's plug that in and see what that does. Oh, there we go. 9.2 volts and 3 amps. So that's 27 to 30 watts. That's pretty good. That's about what I would expect from this Galaxy S23 Ultra. Let's try the other port, see if that makes a difference. It's about the same. Sure, I guess it needs a higher current source, but at least it does USB PD, because the phone negotiated a higher voltage than 5 volt. So that's pretty good. Yep, 28 watts. And that display trips me out. They must have polarized it the wrong way. Weird. 28 watts still. That's pretty good. Let's try that other cable there with the the USB PD 3.1 cable with all the power, with the nice display on there. And let's plug that into my laptop and see if it can actually output those higher currents that it supposedly can. Okay. Now I don't know what state of charge my laptop is in, but let's plug it in and see. Well, it seems the cable gets the readout first and then the device itself. So 20 volts, 0.6 amps. So, okay, it fluctuates a little bit in regards to wattage. Seems to be working. Seems the cable is able to display like 2 and 3 watts, and the charger itself doesn't. It's interesting. So let's start it by laptop and, I don't know, do a benchmark or something like that to see it draw a lot of power. Yeah, you can also see the cable working. Well, it seems to be working fine. I think I'm trying to start a benchmark here. There we go, 91 watts. Awesome. So yeah, it seems to be drawing... Oh, the charger says 80 watts. Okay, that's fine. But it seems to be able to draw the high current. Of course, you know, benchmark, and it gets hot, starts to cool. So that seems to be working fine, but the displays don't really agree with each other. They're like 1 or 2 watts off. It's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, but it seems to be delivering the power we'd expect. Let's try the 100 watt ports, but should basically be the same. Yeah, there we go. Also high wattage, no problem. During this time, the charger made no noise. There's no fan in there or anything, but it made no noise or no squealing or anything like that. Feels decently built. And yeah, for the price, I believe it's 65, 70 bucks. It's a quite powerful charger for that money, right? I've bought less powerful chargers for more money. So, and yeah, as I said, the QI also works. But this is the ending remarks. Thank you for watching again, even with this funky voiceover. Let's not do that again. And I hope to see you back in the next video, another live stream, or maybe on the Discord server. See you then. Oh, there's my outro music. It was already in the video. Bye-bye, guys.